Namaste all of you, dear student. Very warm good morning. And today also we are continuing the virtual class. And today I am here for the class 9 student. The topic of science, the unit 1, that is the measurement. And this topic measurement is a totally a revision class that you all have studied in class 8, 7, and just continuing on that factors. And this is the one of the basic chapter of physics, like various physical phenomena we observe, but without the quantitative analysis it will be quite inconvenient. So for the quantitative analysis of physical phenomenon, we study about the measurement. And this measurement is followed since the human civilizations from the old age also. They use the various terms, various ways to measure the various things. But the thing that we have to keep in our mind is what types of things or what types of object can be measured. So in science, only the measurable quantity we have to discuss, and this measurable quantity we term as the physical quantity. So the things that we can measure, the measurable quantity we call as the physical quantity. And this physical quantity, we discussed that the physical phenomenon that we can measure, like time, distance, energy, force, etc., we can measure by using the various tools, and these quantities are called physical quantity. So simply we can say that measurable quantities are called physical quantities, like time, distance, energy, force, work done, temperatures, luminous intensity. They are the physical quantities. And while defining the physical quantity, we have to keep in our mind that what is the measurement then. So you all have studied in previous classes, like in class 7, class 8, you have studied that measurement as the process. Measurement as the process of comparing the unknown physical quantity with known standard quantity. Like while in the market also, while we go for buying the potatoes or other foods, then the shopkeeper compares the unknown physical. Like if you want to go to buy the rice, sugar, then he keeps the known quantity, like dhak in one side and another unknown physical quantity on another side of the beam balance. And by comparing that known physical quantity, the measurement is done. And we have to keep in our mind that the comparing terms or the standard terms must be of the same kind. Like for mass we use the kilograms. Similarly for other length we have to compare with the known quantity like meters or centimeters. So one standard quantity is reference quantity, and that reference standard quantity we terms as the unit. So unit is the measure factors, that is standard reference quantity. The standard reference quantity that is used for comparing unknown quantity, we call the unit. And always remember that physical quantity is always equal to the numerical value times unit. Physical quantity numerical value times unit. Like if mass is the physical quantity, then numerical terms 3 times unit if we keep kg. It means that if we are asked that what do you mean by that, if the mass of something is 3 kg, that means it is always the numerical value times the unit quantity. Like the mass of, the length of stick is 3 meter. It means that the length of stick is 3 times the unit meter. So this unit is very much important while signifying the measurement of unknown quantity. So you can define the unit as the standard reference quantity used for comparing the unknown quantity. And also remember that this unknown quantity is always the physical quantity, and physical quantity is always measurable quantity. Like the abstract forms are not measurable, like love, hatred. These are, we can't measure by the physical means, so they are not the measurable quantity. They are not physical quantity in terms of physics. So the unknown quantity, wherever it comes, you have to keep in the mind that it is always the measurable quantity, and that measurable quantity we call as the physical quantity. So on the basis of use, we can also compare this physical quantity into the two types, and they are fundamental physical quantity and derived physical quantity. So physical quantity we can categorize into the two parts. They are fundamental physical quantities and derived physical quantities. So this fundamental physical quantity means independent physical quantities. That means they do not depend upon other, or they cannot be simplified from the other forms. They are called the fundamental physical quantities. And the examples of fundamental quantities are time, mass, length, temperature, etc. And derived physical quantities means those quantities which are derived from the fundamental quantities, or we can express or we can simplify the derived physical quantities in terms of the fundamental quantities, and that we call as the derived physical quantities. And the examples of derived physical quantities are simply velocity, pressure, force, acceleration, etc. And here the things that we have to remember is that the derived physical quantities, we are asked that from which fundamental quantities those derived physical quantities are combined. Like we can take the examples, like if we say velocity as the derived physical quantity, then we are asked to show that what are the fundamental quantities that are inserted or that is found in velocity. So let's take one example to show that the velocity as the derived quantity. Like we may ask the question, so that velocity is derived physical quantity. So for that, we should know the definition of velocity. And I think you all are familiar with the definition of velocity. Velocity means rate of change of what? Displacement. So velocity is displacement by time. And the displacement means the distance between two shortest point. So we can simply say that the displacement is the distance, and distance we take in terms of length, and time itself is the fundamental physical quantity. So the velocity is composed of the two fundamental physical quantities. They are length and time. So we can say that velocity is the derived physical quantity. Similarly, we can also show that like acceleration. And acceleration is the rate of change of rate of change of velocity. So we can say that acceleration is equal to velocity by time taken. So before also we have shown that the velocity is displacement by time. So we can write velocity as length by time by time. So we can we simplified acceleration into the fundamental quantities. That means acceleration is a physical quantity, and it is composed of length and time two times. So again, acceleration is the derived physical quantity, because we simplify this acceleration in terms of fundamental quantity, and we have listed fundamental quantity like time, mass, temperature, length. So basic fundamental quantities are mass, time and length, and again we express this acceleration into the fundamental physical quantity. So we call the acceleration as the derived physical quantity. So we can, okay, next one example. Now let's take force as the derived physical quantity. So here, the first of all, the force mean, mathematically force mean the mass into acceleration. And mass itself is the fundamental physical quantity, and before we have shown that acceleration is the derived physical quantity, because the acceleration is composed of fundamental quantity. Before we have shown that acceleration we can write in terms of velocity by time, and again velocity we have written as a displacement by time. Again this time is remaining, and displacement is the length or the shortest distance. So we can write that displacement is the in terms of length. So again we have shown that the force has the derived from the different fundamental physical quantity, that they are mass, length and time. So the force is the derived physical quantity. And next thing that we have to remember is in terms of exam, that sometimes we are said to differentiate between the fundamental physical quantity and derived physical quantity in 2 points, and while differentiating you can write the definitions and other properties of the fundamental and derived physical quantities. So like that way we can express these derived physical quantity in terms of fundamental quantities. I hope at home also you will try to show that different physical quantities in terms of the fundamental quantities. You can practice like velocity, force and acceleration. Simply you can try at home, and so that you can gain the some ideas about the derived quantities and physical quantities and fundamental physical quantities. Okay, today we shall discuss for this much, and at home please try to show the different derived physical quantity in terms of fundamental quantities. Like you can try of velocity, acceleration at home also, and you can show these two derived physical quantities in terms of fundamental quantities, and you can show these practice at home, and we shall continue the next classes from upcoming classes. And today this much for today. Okay, thank you.